Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Erika Spence, Head of Data Strategy at Nasdaq's eVestment Group. Under her watch, eVestment has launched a new ESG questionnaire that provides more opportunities for asset managers to tell their ESG story. The questionnaire also creates more transparency about ESG all around for managers, investors, and investment consultants. Erika, it's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me, Jill.
And eVestment has been collecting ESG data for a long time. Why expand and change the questionnaire now?
Great question. So we've been hearing from our investor and consultant clients for quite some time now that they want better information on managers' environmental, social, and governance strategies so that they can make better decisions when screening and selecting managers. At the same time, our asset manager clients told us that they really wanted to share their ESG stories more completely and comprehensively to help them stand out for competitors. So really, we're getting this kind of push-pull from both sides of our industry. We've made changes to our ESG data collection over the years to keep up with what the industry was looking for, but the continued rise in ESG interest really made this the perfect time for us to make these big, major changes that we've just announced.
So what are some of the changes to the questionnaire?
Yep, first of all, we've expanded the questionnaire from about 40 questions to more than 140. We've added a lot more yes, no, check the box type questions to get at the basics of a manager's ESG offerings. But we've also offered a lot more qualitative and narrative opportunities, both to give asset managers the space to really tell their ESG story and supply some supplemental materials to highlight their ESG offerings, but also really to get our asset owners and our consultants the opportunity to kind of get under the hood and really start to understand the philosophy of these investments.
What are some of those new narrative questions?
Yeah, we're asking managers things like how they engage or advocate for ESG improvements at their portfolio companies. Is there a senior level commitment and accountability? And that was important to ESG. What would cause them to buy or sell a security if relevant ESG issues were uncovered? Things like that, those types of things are the things that are along the lines of what we're trying to get managers to highlight.
And eVestment usually is the first step for investors and consultants when they research asset managers for new mandates. So it's important for managers to answer as many of those as possible, right?
Correct. Yeah. Investors and consultants will use eVestment to do that preliminary research, as you said, on managers that may have investment strategies of interest. And ESG is one factor that they may want to research. So if you provided more information and you fell out of a search at an early stage. As I said, managers ask for help in giving them more opportunities to tell their ESG stories because they know that marketing through eVestment is one of the top ways to get investor and consultant attention. So it's really important to provide that information to avoid that fallout at that early stage, really making sure that people understand the relevant information as completely and as early in the process as possible.
eVestment worked with industry leaders on the expanded questionnaire. What are some of the groups you spoke to about this?
Yeah, we really did want to take a thoughtful approach on this. It was a couple of years in the making to really get this right. So we spoke to many of our investor and consultant and asset manager clients to get their insights on what would be important to collect and show. And there's a lot of feedback in the industry right now. There was just a trade publication around that today, and we really feel good that we're capturing a lot of that information. We also talked to a lot of big industry leading groups in the ESG space to really make sure that as they were thinking of their standards, as they thinking of their reporting needs, that we weren't creating conflict with that we were doing something that was going to support the reporting in the industry outside of just what we do eVestment.
And where can viewers go to learn more about this new questionnaire and eVestment's approach to ESG data?
You can go to eVestment.com to learn more.
All right, Erika, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining me on Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.